You see the shine. You see the shine. And you see the definition. I mean, I've been outside, but girl, clocky, okay? It's cute. Hey y'all, and welcome back to the Curls and Commentary channel. Babes, we got good things to get into for this wash day. So let's get started. First and foremost, I jumped into the shower and used my favorite shampoo. As you can see here, Honey Cream does not disappoint. And if you're somebody who's like, well, you always talk about how moisturizing it is and how much slip it has, but like, can it get my hair squeaky clean? Babes, it can. I had a little bit of extra cream and a little bit of extra grease and product on my hair because I went from a refresh into the shower, and the honey cream did just fine. When I did my initial cleanse, I rinsed it out, and when it was almost rinsed out, I took just a little bit more and put it over top, and I felt like that got the last little bit of residue really nice. So after that, I followed up with the Curlsmith multitasking conditioner, and this is a deep conditioner that's like a 3-in-1 for damaged hair. I haven't used this in a while, but I am going to be incorporating it into my like wash days more often because y'all, I recently decided to get into a bit of a rotation, and let me break it down when I say rotation. So basically what I'm doing is a protein wash day, a moisturizing wash day, and a moisture protein balance wash day. And what I mean by protein is I'm gonna use my normal honey cream shampoo, but my deep conditioner is gonna have protein in it. Now, I never use a conditioner that's marketed to protein because I found that they're too strong for my fine strands, but I do want to be able to incorporate protein here and there, and at least on a regular basis. Now, when I do my full moisturizing wash days, once again, I go in with the honey cream shampoo, but I'm gonna follow up with a conditioner that has no protein in it, so it'll be protein free. And then if I'm going in for the protein moisture balanced wash day, I'm actually gonna be going in with a protein or strengthening shampoo, and then I'll go in with a moisturizing conditioner, you know, that's protein free. Obviously, I get my hair pressed every couple months, and I just want to make sure that I'm, you know, maintaining the integrity of my curls. But anyway, back to multitasking conditioner. This is the protein conditioner that I have in my stash right now, and I think that even though it's been hard for me to figure out which moisturizing conditioner from Curlsmith I like more, I kind of feel like this one's in a league of its own because castor oil is the second ingredient, and it just kind of clings to the strands differently. I think it's a positive when it comes to how my hair feels once I rinse it out, but it's kind of a negative as far as the application. I feel like of my Curlsmith conditioners, it has slip, it has glide, but it's just not the same as the other ones. But overall, I thought it was a good experience. Once again, I got that Curlsmith only video coming. I need to get all my thoughts together as far as like how Curlsmith has been working on my high porosity hair. I know I keep saying it's coming, but it is coming. Just keep an eye if you're curious. But anyway, after I rinsed that out, I followed up with the Paul Mitchell leave-in conditioner, well, what I'm calling my leave-in conditioner, but it's actually the detangler conditioner, and so far so good. I really have been enjoying it. However, I do think because the Curlsmith conditioner leaves that oily feeling on the strands, it didn't really make for the best application with the leave-in. I feel like this Paul Mitchell product works best on hair that feels like squeaky clean, but overall it still was really nice. I let it bake under my plastic cap for some time, and then I went into, you know, detangle and all that kind of stuff. So now that we got through the rundown of my wash day up until this point, let me go ahead and throw y'all some footage of me stretching with the Rev-Air. This time around, I decided to go in with the Doux cream as my cream, and I decided to try the Doux Crazy Sexy Curl. So very cute combo. If you're interested to see how I got these results and what I think of them, just keep on watching. I'll talk to you guys at the end of the video. What's up, y'all? Voiceover Junie clocking in, and y'all, I am loving my new technique for getting my hair nice and detangled and keeping it detangled throughout my entire wash day. I'm going in with the wide tooth comb parallel to my strands. If you know, you know. And this is allowing my hair to stay detangled throughout my entire styling process. So I'm going in with my Rev-Air on level 2 tension, level 2 heat, you heard me? As I always do. And I'm making sure to get it nice and close to my roots. I wiggle it around a little bit here and there to just make sure that the heat is even on my strands. And essentially, once I feel like I'm about halfway through, I bring out the Rev-Air and I go ahead in with my wide tooth comb once again, and then I finish it up, making sure it's as stretched and as dry as I'd like. After my sections are complete, I go back in with my wide tooth comb just to make sure everything is fried, dyed, laid to the side, and then it's time for me to go in with my cream. And here we are, babes. I'm taking a fingertip full of my cream, working it in my hands, and then rubbing it down my strands from root to end. And babes, this is where it all started. The Doux cream on stretched hair is where it all started. I would be nowhere. Real quick, y'all, I forgot to say that multitasking conditioner has protein like midway through the ingredient list, and I definitely felt like my strands were strengthened, especially at this point once my hair was stretched. Anyway, I'm working the product through my hair, and then I'm adding a little bit of grease. Tiny bit. I'm gonna show y'all. You see a little bit. Don't go crazy now, especially if you got fine strands. And I'm working that down my strands as well. You see the shine? You see the shine, okay? Now I'm splitting my sections, and I think I'm splitting, top to bottom, and just making sure I get a nice little part. I was struggling a bit, as you can see, but baby, we made it where I needed to get to at the end, and here you can see I begin twisting finally. But yeah, y'all, I'm just twisting with order and decency at this point. My Bookie Bae was in the room hanging out with me, so I had some company, and I'm just making sure that I'm making my twists nice and tight. And as always, I'm gonna go in and reinforce my ends with a little cream, and then I will follow up with a little grease, and then I'll finally finish the twist with my wide tooth comb, and just making sure that I'm twisting it nice and tightly at the ends. Y'all, I did not know I had that whole section left. That's a downside of doing the front of your head first. But okay, babes, it is time for the star of the show, the Doux Crazy Sexy Curl Mousse. It was my very first time using this, so I was shaking it up in excitement. And I gotta say that applying this product over top of my completed twist is the only way that I'm gonna use it moving forward, because y'all, I did a sample section trying to apply this mousse to my loose hair before twisting it up. The whole thing reverted, even just with one pump of mousse in a pretty dense section. So I strongly suggest applying as much mousse as needed over top of your completed twist, because it's just not going to penetrate your twist the same way and cause your strands to completely shrink up. But anywho, babes, let's get to the takedown, because that's what we're here for. Here's what my twists were giving the next morning. I had a little structure and I had a little hold, so your girl was pleased. Spoiler alert, your girl was feeling the hair so far, but let's go ahead and talk about the separation process. It was super easy, y'all. My hair had really nice hold. I didn't get any friction. Look at that. Oh my goodness. And like I said, I'm not the type of girly to keep my hair clumped on day 1 or 2. I like my hair big as it can get on the first day, but I really was enjoying this takedown process. It just felt like it had a lot of structure and hold. So I'm just actually sliding my fingers down and separating anyhow, any way I want. And the thing that I really loved about this is that it did not create frizz. And you see, I'm really sliding my fingers down the entire strand. Come on. Come on. After all my twists were taken down, I had that moment of, okay, we're cooking. And here is the final look, babes. I had some places to go with my husband, so I got a little brow, a little gloss. It was giving. But baby, we gotta get into the final thoughts before I start running my mouth on the voiceover. Okay, y'all, so we're back for final thoughts. First of all, guys, I know I had a video before with the Eden Body Works cream, and I was like, has the Doux been dethroned? And the answer was no, because the Eden Body Works did not last. I wound up sending it to my friend. But I really do think the Doux cream might be on its way out, and let me tell you why. For how I'm wearing my hair in this season, I feel like it's too thick. And I don't like that when I reinforce with the cream, I'm not sure if you guys can tell, it's like a little bit white. You guys, I don't know, can you see that? A little bit of white specks. It's because it's like too much product. And this is my first cream that this has happened with. Everything else fell right in line. And I don't like feeling like I need to change my technique at all just for a product, especially because, guys, I think the Doux cream performs better on stretched hair than curly hair. And it's like, well, if it performs better on stretched hair, but it's still giving me this sort of like dusty kind of, you know, residual flakage at the bottom on my ends, I just don't think it's worth it. I think I need a lighter cream. So I have, you know, not too much left, but I think I'm gonna let the Doux cream rock out until, you know, the winter time. I'll revisit it in the colder months, and I don't think I'm gonna rebuy it for some time. I gotta do what's best for me, okay? So anyway, that's my thoughts on the cream. Now, let's get into this mousse. A lot of people have used this, and I would tell y'all, I really don't think that I have seen anybody use the Crazy Sexy Curl on a stretch twist out the way that I did, at least. Everybody said this smelled like honey. Mine doesn't smell like honey. I don't know what mine smells like, but I don't think it smells like honey. And I used to have the spiked honey mousse from Camille Rose. That smelled like honey, and I hated that, and I had to return it. But this was a great little $11.97 spent. I'm excited to continue using it for, you know, my wash days that I'm not using hair color. But I definitely think I'm gonna revisit the Curlsmith next time, because I just feel like I miss a little something in my hair. But guys, especially this side. This side is giving me a little bit of grief, but that's fine. This side, it's got hold. It's got such good hold. And even though my hair is gonna get bigger, it's got hold. Like, my curls are held in place. Even as I'm like fluffing, it's not, and I guess the reason why I'm not saying it's got definition is because it still has like frizz, but the frizz is held in place. Hopefully that makes sense. But I don't have any greasy feeling. It just feels nice and moisturized. Just want to do a little check-in. I think the last time I made a note about how much grease I used, I wasn't even through the Softy logo, but you guys see, Mama's getting toward the bottom, babes. So I'm probably gonna get some more. I'm gonna get the same one. If it ain't broke, don't break it. But yes, y'all, I know this was a chatty outro, very chatty outro for this Crazy Sexy Curl Mousse, but I just wanted to tell y'all, your girl is locked in. She's clocked in, locked in. I have nothing else to say.